The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once the more, do we go into the breach, dear friends? As always, we like to meet at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Come on. There they are. Slow on the uptake today, but they were there. Anyway, what else do we have happening out here? Market is, well, the S&P's off at least a point. Volume is just very shy of what we had yesterday starting the show. Most notably, the first 30 minutes was the lightest open of the year, which is kind of interesting. It picked up a little bit, but it's not better. And the question is, we've got a lot of people looking at fund buying coming in. Numbers still show outflows swamp inflows. So there's absolutely no reason to think that the market's going much higher because of fund buying. But they mark it up anyway. Whatever money does come in tries to be spent at the top of the market. There's an old saying on Wall Street, if you've never heard it, and that is, if you're not buying the high, you're just not trying. And a somewhat ironic statement from the people that would tell you to buy low and sell high. It's buy high and maybe sell higher if you can find a bigger fool to buy it at a higher price. And we'll talk about that and other stuff today, but got to a low of about 2152 on the S&P cash. Not a lot of sellers. As we have found out, you go higher, and each time you go higher, there's fewer and fewer buyers willing to buy a breakout. You go lower, and there's fewer and fewer sellers willing to sell it. But at the same time, how do you make any money in a market that does not move, that is rather stuck? And I think that there is a reason for it, and that is that every time the market moves higher now, we are finding people more than willing to sell just a little bit more than buyers. And that may be all it takes to put that last piece of straw on the proverbial camel's back. I think we'll know today. I think today is going to give us kind of a reading as we get into the close, what is going to happen. I am fairly bearish just on the fact that if we do go higher, I think we're going maybe 20 points higher. If we go lower, I think we could easily go 70 points lower. And even if the odds were 50-50 of each, I'd rather much more be wrong going 20 points higher than 70 points lower. That's pretty much it. Just 2 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape as we start the show.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1987, the cover of Fortune magazine asks, are stocks too high? No, they never can be too high. Market only goes higher. Heck no, answers the cover story. New ways of evaluating shares give some surprising answers, i.e. it's different this time. Clearly, something is going on with that old analytical concepts can't be accounted for. It's different this time. The world's leading hedge fund manager, George Soros, tells Fortune that while the market is already unstable and overvalued, it has not reached the point of collapse. Indeed, it could move much higher. Then again, it could move much lower. 14 trading days later, the stock market is down 23%, which gives you an idea of how these things happen. A lot of times you don't know what's happening. You speculate that you have the idea, but when markets are overvalued, it's very tough to figure out exactly why. Ooh, we got a nice little pop-up. 1 point on the S&P cash now. But we shall see. What else is going on out here? Oh, after the bell, Pier 1 imports. And that's about it. Other than I was going out to lunch today. They had CNBC up on the TV screens, and I was looking up, and I saw a little quote there, and it said, Janet Yellen says she has no idea about anybody with dissenting opinions on the FOMC.
You're telling me a big fat lie.
That's what I thought. I thought it was pretty funny. I had to laugh. No one dissents with her opinion, and she doesn't know about it if they do. What else can you say? That's about it for the snooze. We will get into charts here and take a look. Last night, we kind of had a hat trick of lower earnings, i.e. Stocks that didn't perform on earnings. Cintas was the winner. It's up about $2.50 at 116.12, which is about 2.25%, 2.4% actually. Nike was a different story, a horse of a different story. It is off about 4.5% today. As many of these double gaps are out here, these things are getting filled. And if you have a gap below, then it has a double gap. Keep an eye out as a preponderance. Probably about 80% of these things are moving their way back in and filling these downward gaps. Volume today is 23.6 million shares already. That is compared to the 36 million share gap up on June 29th. But we shall continue on. The stock that gets the loser horn is TPX. That is Tempur Sealy. They came out with some guidance last night that blew chunks. Probably the best technical description I can give you. Again, these gaps tend to be getting filled, all but a handful of stocks, which continue to always push higher. And that is the 2 or 3 or 4 stocks in the NASDAQ that are getting all the love, if not every penny of the love out here. And I don't know what else you can say about it other than that. A market with incredibly narrow leadership. You may tick 1 penny higher, but that does not give you the magnitude of where all that cash is going. But if you wanted a window on housing, I suspect that Tempur Sealy International TPX is giving you a good one. They tend to roll over just a little bit earlier than the housing market, but we shall see. What's it? What is it? KHB? KBH? Take a quick. Oh, we're going to break. We'll come back and look at it, but some of these looking a little bit winded out here. Housing numbers weren't all that great earlier, or last week, or was it this week? Anyway, we'll be back. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. We've had a certain surge in the market, up 5 points.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And let's take a look at a few other things. Again, you can always email me at path@tfnn.com. A little bounce out here in oil. You do have to say that this has been coming around this, at least on the OIH, around this $26 level. Did so on 20% lighter volume than the May 19th low. And you can kind of see we even dipped down below the August 2nd low on a little lighter volume. So far, nice spike in the OIH today. But guess what? Not the volume so far. But maybe it just means this thing is not ready to go yet. The energy, although the energy on this last leg down from August 18th has been pretty good. For a smaller dollar amount, it had more energy than the June 8th high back into the August 8th low. But kind of tough to see out here, but certainly looks like something is up. Amazon is hitting all-time highs. Let's take a look at that. Which is basically dragging the market higher. And the question is just how high will Amazon go? Kind of tough to tell. Impossible to value the company. It trades at the whim of the CEO. But, man, you got a couple of nice gaps back down here. I couldn't be buying it at this level. See if there's anything else out here in the news. We are at the highs of the day, 2166. Okay, and what else do we have? SDF, FDS, fact check. This gap down the other day, I didn't say anything about it yesterday. But, we've got a handful of stocks that are a little higher, and then we got a bunch of stocks that are taking cliff dives off like Temper. The betting company. Fact check came down on very hard volume and closed this gap out on the 12th of, 12th of July. Enough volume yesterday that makes me think that we'll at least come back and fill this gap that is around 152.50. Let's call it 151 to 154. And that gap is actually a couple of days going back to June 29th. So got a lot in that one. FactSet Research Company. Interesting moves. What else do we have coming out here? Intap Services, INAP. This is kind of a little penny stock out here. I wanted to see how this one was doing, if it was going to crack. Energy's very strong off this last high, but no signal yet today. IPXL, this is Impacts Laboratory. Again, came right up to its gap. If you were long this thing, that would have been the side. It certainly looks like it's going to come down and retest the $20.97 low. Not a lot of volume so far out here, but man, a huge gap with 7.1 million shares down on the 9th of August. So kind of a horrible looking chart. What else do we have out here? ServiceNow. Another one hanging up here at the highs and with incredibly light volume. Let's see and check and see if earnings is coming up anytime soon for its earnings date. See what we have here. October 19th, so you got, 3 weeks for earnings on this. But, man, talk about light volume. The high on April 21st, 8.3 million shares. Gets into it with 2.5 million shares on June 8th. Yesterday we had 1.5 million shares. Today, just 1 million shares so far. So let's take this thing back a little bit farther. Two gaps, one at about 83, one at about 86, that happened on this way back down. But certainly this just 80, let's call it 78, 80 level has been problematic for this thing in the past at levels. It doesn't make you feel any better out here to see 1 million shares out here as it goes and challenges some new highs. Let's see if we got any new mail. Okay. Question about Microsoft, MSFT. We looked at it yesterday. I don't think there's anything new here. No, I don't think anything else changed in a day. You have gapped higher than this $56 level. It's kind of just played around here. I don't like the volume up here. I still think that the best buy, I think we talked about it a while back, would be that it comes back and fills this gap to $53. And my opinion has not changed on that. What do we have? Okay, we did the OIH. Realogy is another one out here. Let's see, what's the profile on this? Let's make sure we know what this company does. Real estate and relocation services worldwide company. Basically, they buy your home and sell it for you and get you out of Dodge. And they also do Century 21, Coldwell Banker, some other ones, ERA. So Sotheby's, International Realty. So if you got a lot of juice and you need to move, your company will buy your house through these guys and sell it. I think that's pretty much what they do. Very interesting chart pattern out here. It came down and just was creamed on, what is that, August 4th. Been doing nothing but really coming and going sideways with light volume. I'm kind of in a quandary on the housing here, other than the fact that this is a company that makes a lot more money when you have to sell your house and there isn't a good market for it. So I wonder if this isn't making a little bit better chart pattern out here with no volume going out here on the right-hand side, just in the fact that they actually will have better sales, because guess what? They buy people's houses, and whatever the trouble is in selling a house in a down market, they eat it and pass it back to the corporations. But Interesting out here. I'm watching this one close. If it does break the 25.52, that would be another confirmation that housing is in trouble. Like I said, I don't have enough to actually place a position below, but it is interesting. Tahoe Resources. Been watching this one. It's been bouncing along this area. A little lighter volume on a push higher out here today. I still suspect that you certainly should come back to the $12 level and fill at least that first gap. THM. What do we have out here? THM. International Tower Hill Mines Limited. A little bit of volume going sideways out here. I don't see much on that one. What else do we have? Tenaris. Certainly looked like it was going to come back and fill at least part of this gap to about 24.50. Similar on this is TS. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com, and we'll catch you later.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And 2168 on the S&P cash. Got a bounce of about 8 points on a rumor that the Saudis and the Iranians have come to a deal I expect that that deal is transitory. I don't know how long. Has it been called off yet? It's 10 minutes old. That's kind of long before they start cheating. Maybe there is one better out here, but maybe just the announcement means that the tensions are falling. I just don't understand the idea that anything changed in the supply. But you know what? Weird things have happened. Um, will tomorrow it be like nothing ever happened? Well, we'll see. The volume is not all that exciting. It just looks like maybe there were people sitting on the short side that blinked very quickly for the 8-point move higher. There's just not a lot out here. 2.34 billion shares. Now, if we got 3.8 billion shares by the end of the day, 4.2, I think you could say that the market has shifted to the bullish side. Right now, we're probably going forward to about 3.4, maybe 3.45 billion shares on the day. I just don't see a lot of volume coming in after this little run. We'll see what happens. Again, it's almost always the last 30 minutes that really tells the story on volume for the market. What else do we have out here? VNCE has come back and filled its gap up. That gap happened on the 22nd of August. 1.4 million shares as we've come back in. Not a bad-looking chart. 600,000 shares yesterday, 428,000 shares as it comes back and fills this little gap. Another one that I thought was very interesting, but I haven't seen any volume in its pop today, is this dental supply company, X-Ray. I like the way that this thing's been bouncing around this low. I wish the volume on September 26 would have pulled in at like 1.5 million shares, a little less than the 2.2 million shares on June 27th. And of course, the benchmark I'm looking at is the March 24th low at 3 million shares. So you do have a little less, but you normally get about 50% volume in one of these tests of the low, and then that's it. I do like that the energy's kind of come off a little bit off this August 3rd high. But Serona Incorporated Dental Supply, X-Ray is the symbol. Kind of interesting. I like that it has a high volume high out here at 65.83. $7 maybe in it with $1 to the downside is one of the stocks that I've been checking out. Let's take a look at some of the other ones that have been signals over the last week. In fact, let's go to last week and see how some of these have fared that we've talked about. 2.37 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape. We'd been looking at GoDaddy. It had basically the same volume before the December 8th, 2015 high. It did test it just a few days ago. Did so on the exact same volume. Energy was about the same on the way up. You've got a huge gap, though, back here to the August 3rd low, and you always have to worry about that getting retested. But not so much out here right now, just lighter volume to the top. Nothing imminent, but keep an eye on that one. Genmark Diagnostics, let's look at Goldman Sachs. So we talked about this one for a little while, which was it did test its previous high, the April 21st high, went a little higher into a gap that goes back to the 6th. In fact, we talked about these gaps from the 6th and the 4th of the beginning of the year, and a lot of stocks coming back up to these. Anyway, tested the April 21st high at 168.90. With lighter volume out here September 9th, 3.4 million shares. It's continued to roll over. No love for this one yet today. Had a little pop, maybe a little action starting yesterday. Certainly nothing out here today with just 1 million shares in the Goldman Sachs. HIBB. This one was another one that was testing the highs we brought up. I guess the thought was maybe there are a few less competitors in this market. I suspect that Nike's news put a little juice to the downside on this one, Hibbett Sports. We were talking about this one from the August 16th high at 41.49 with 810,000 shares. Only came into it with 25,000 shares. Never a good sign. And if we go back a little bit further on this, again, these double gaps are being tested on the tops and the bottoms. In this case, this gap down on the 11th of August 2015 with some 1.9 million shares. The double gap in there too, and it just looks like maybe it got everything it could get out of, what is this, Sports Authority that went bankrupt and left Dick's as the only big major chain. This one's a smaller chain. I guess there are probably a lot of discussions about whether they get bought out or not. I will continue on. 2167 on the S&P cash. Do we have that here? Okay. Take a look at here. 2.4 million shares, or 2.4 billion shares on the NYSE. So volume has kind of ticked up just a little bit. See how this market closes. I think that's much more important the hour after the news on oil, how it does. 2166 now. The Lear Corporation. I don't think this is the same that you're thinking of. They split. There were many things to the planes and the other thing. I think the plane division got sold to Cessna, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe Cessna got sold to Lear. Let's take a look at this one. I do like the incredibly light volume test just a few days ago, and that's when we brought it up first on the show. Automotive seating, electrical distribution, automotive original equipment manufacturers, seating and electrical, seating, sports utility vehicles, seating, remote keyless entry, seating. Ew. So they're a big Detroit, Michigan company out here. But I think at one time they were part of the plane company for some reason, and they split a long time ago. So there were like a couple of them out here. 2167. Okay, Lear Corporation, the reason I'm so interested is the April 27th high, 120, came in with 1.6 million shares, came in with the 640,000 shares September 22nd. What, a third of the volume, almost a little better than the third of the volume. And we pulled back into these range. The low off here of July 28th has moved back up here without a lot of energy. A lot of these things just look like they're hanging at the highs. No one willing to sell, but not anybody really willing to buy either at these highs. We'll be back after this brief timeout.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're looking to discover a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, consider the new Market Safe Focus Commodity CD from Everbank. This 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 6 equally weighted commodities, including gold, silver, copper, nickel, soybeans, and sugar, in one powerful CD. With annual pricing caps of 50% per component, you could earn up to a 50% upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. Take advantage of this financial resource designed to grow with the times. The October 13th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member FDIC.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And 2167 on the S&P cash, 2.47 billion shares. So we'll keep an eye on that. Man, you'd like to see about 4.2 to 4.5 billion shares to give you an indication that there is something to the upside in this market. Man, I don't see how we get there as if the volume continues to track. And in fact, this little move here probably could be considered, if it holds, a last engulfing in the equities. Maybe commodities or be something else. I had a question from the email to come out and take a look at the IBB. Not participating so much in today's move. Did get up to what what is that? Got up to 298 and change today. Trading under just about 295 right now. Not getting a lot of love, not getting a lot of volume either out here. Volume yesterday was about 1 million shares, about 627,000 shares today. Just tired. This thing's been beaten and beaten and beaten to the upside with one buyout after another. I just don't know if there's anything left in the whole M&A thing to really push the IBB up higher. But we will continue to watch how this goes. A better question is the TLT and what happens if this fails. We spent a lot of time on this one yesterday. I suspected that we would get an answer, or hoped, let me say, that we would get an answer today. And I think you can say that this thing has a good indication of maybe it is setting up an ABC down on a longer-term basis. Let's get this thing out here. On a longer-term basis, could be getting an ABC. And then if you look at the expansion on that particular ABC, would be, what is that, 143. See, that would be the A. This gap down here at 133 would be the B. Today would set us up as the C. So you got that would be the A. Okay. That would be the B. We can get it to get the B. There we go. And then today would be C. Didn't like my C out here for some unknown reason. Okay. We'll work it out anyway. So 143 to 133, so that's 10 points. You're up to one that. So 1-to-1 ABC would take you to 129. Let's take a look at that. 129 takes you right back down to this gap up that occurred on the 3rd of May out here. And so this is kind of do or die now for it. I'm wondering if we're not seeing a little bit of market action on the bond. Somebody said, I didn't have a chance to look at them. Somebody in the den said something was going on out here. But I'm certainly looking at yesterday's doji and today's doji out here in the TLT as something that you want to watch incredibly closely over the next couple of days to see what is happening. We'll go on to some other ones out here, and that is MELI. Let's take a look at here. Mercado Libre, kind of getting to a little bit of a trend change in this one. It just looks like, I don't know if it's going, no signal it's broken yet, but kind of a ridiculous chart out here in the earnings of it. It's kind of a PayPal for South America, but I'm wondering how much of this just is overblown. I don't see that much action in that company in South America, which makes me interested. OGE Energy, I saw a nice top on July 1st, 2016. $32.96. We did pierce that yesterday. We did so on half the volume. And you got a little bit of a kind of a hammer out here today. Volume, though, again, is light at 500,000 shares. What do we have here? Sanmina. This one, of course, blew up on earnings. It's come all the way back up to its gap, pretty much filled 90% of it. The September 22nd high at 28.73 had 540,000 shares compared to the 3.5 million shares this thing blew up on. Let's read the profile for you out here. What do we have? Integrated manufacturing solutions, components, and repair, logistics, and aftermarket services worldwide. Let's take a look at the SMHs. They were kind of looking iffy the last time we visited them here on the show. See what they out here. Another day up here on very light volume. Today, 1.1 million shares so far compared to the 4 million shares yesterday. So volume did kind of pick up yesterday. You got kind of a nice little move here. Any chance, though, that this thing closes lower, and it would be the signal to pull the trigger on this for a move back down to 60. I do not see that signal yet, but you could look at it. 2168.5. Let's see what else we have out here. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. This is another one we've talked about. Had a nice test of its low, did so on half the volume. Tried to get higher again yesterday. That volume came in at 5.7 million shares. Still not enough. Just 2.8 million shares right now. So again, another issue out here with this, and not a lot of juice. WGP filling its gap. This is Western Gas Equity Partners. I'm not a big fan in buying these limited partnerships, which is what the LP stands for. WGP has filled this gap. This thing cratered on the 14th of June, did so on 8.1 million shares. We are up with 135,000 shares back into that gap. Man, you got to look at some of these that just look very questionable. And this one kind of talked about not a lot of juice on the way back down. Certainly no volume on the way back up today. This is one of the Chinese web companies. It cratered on the 18th of July, August, excuse me, did so with 10.4 million shares, tried to come back into that gap with 3.2 million shares on the 6th of September. Again, on the 22nd of September, 2 million shares, and it's kind of pulled back just a little bit, but kind of very interesting out here. I've been looking at some of these China companies thinking there may be a short in some of them, but had not seen a great deal. Oh, we're going to the break. We'll go and turn the Wayback Machine on and look at some of the charts from last week that look good or weak and see how those patterns did develop this week. 2.55 billion shares as we go to the break.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we come in with an hour and 5 minutes to go in the trading day. Volume is at 2.6 billion shares, which is kind of picked up since the beginning of the show. I'm going to call it last 15 minutes. The volume has been rather tepid. We've ticked up a couple more points in the S&P cash at 2169. Now, what's going on? We were talking a little bit about some of the stocks that we looked at the patterns over the last week and see how actually some of these did develop. FireEye we were looking at because it had made a lower volume low. and actually one that could have been, if the energy wouldn't have been higher off the September high, 7th high, high down to this September 19th low, I would have probably bit on this one. Certainly a test of the low with lighter volume and always what you're looking for. I mean, it had a nice bounce, a tradable bounce, but I'm looking for something much bigger than this. Interestingly, we did see Yahoo's CEO talk a little bit about getting her hand caught in the cookie jar, and that is not willing to spend any money to keep the passwords at her company safe. And that continues to be a theme. I think a few more CEOs are going to have to get fired before spending the money on security becomes not an afterthought that it is today. These companies, I think, have a bright future. The only question is timing, when that tipping point comes in the market for these companies. But days like today, or news like today, is pretty good. One more test of about 1380 with light volume might have me be a buyer on this. It does look like it is in the right sector out here. What else do we have? A few other stocks. Flex FLEX did pierce its previous high, did so on more volume. It hasn't been able to do anything but go sideways since it did that, so I don't have a lot more to report since then. Global's Medical. A lot of these stocks have given signals and then done nothing. Let's look at Mobileye. We talked about this one about a week ago when it came down with 4 million shares into the 26 million share low. This one doesn't look too bad. It is going to close back in to this trading range, the July 26th low. Most of this downside was, of course, caused by discussions of Mobileye and Tesla getting into fisticuffs and parting ways. Of course, they were the idea was that they would be the big cheese in eventually in self-driving cars. Got into a big brouhaha over the accident down here in Florida and whose fault it was on the way that the automatic steering system worked. But you know, if you're a big fan of this thing, it could look worse. Again, I wouldn't be a buyer because of the high energy off this August 23rd high. I suspect that we'll have to bounce at least a few times before you find a low. NVIDIA, the stock that just keeps rocketing higher, a little doji out here today. Now, these guys are in some hot water. They make a lot of chips. They make and sell those chips to other people, and they put them in their video cards to sell. NVIDIA makes their own cards. But they are going nose to nose with most of those manufacturers, and some of them are a little bit more than ticked off and saying so in the last day. Watch NVIDIA very closely over the next couple of days, along with the SMHs and some of these other semis. Is there anything left in the tank for these things? Or are they just going to, like the proverbial beanstalk, grow to the sky? See you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. So when you can, not when you have to.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.